Horizon Steel Frontiers is a freshly announced entry in the Horizon universe, and it looks amazing. But instead of the familiar single-player RPG experience known from Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, we are now looking at a shared MMO-style open world with team-based machine hunting. So let's go over everything we know so far, and some big open questions at the end. The game is being developed by Guerrilla Games in collaboration with NCSoft, who also publishes the game. Guerrilla is the developer behind the first two entries of the franchise, while you might know NCSoft from games like Lineage and Blade & Soul. The game is currently in development for PC, iOS and Android with cross-play support. However, there is no PlayStation version planned, which has caused some confusion among fans, as this is the first Horizon game to skip consoles. It will be free to play, though specifics on monetization are still unclear, and we will definitely keep our eyes peeled for the details. As for the release date, although it already looks great, it's expected to launch sometime in late 2026 or early 2027, so quite some time away. Now, unlike past Horizon titles where you controlled Aloy as a single protagonist, players can now create their own unique characters belonging to different Horizon tribes, like the Nora or Oseram. And by the looks of it, the character creator will also have quite some depth, with the possibility to share your creations with each other. Together, you will be exploring a new post-apocalyptic region known as the Deadlands, or Deathlands, according to some sources. The Horizon franchise continues its traditional map designs that lean towards real-world places, as the new region is inspired by the deserts of Arizona and New Mexico. In this world, you will once more fight against oversized machines that freely roam the lands. You will play as a member of one of the Horizon tribes, tasked with hunting down these machines to scavenge resources and uncover secrets. Exploration and traversal will also play a huge part, with the ability to use mounts, both grounded and flying, to navigate the Deadlands. There is even a chance to climb onto Tallnecks, the iconic Horizon machines, classic Assassin's Creed towers, but moving. And as you journey through the world, you will be able to gather resources, craft items and take on quests and bounties. At its core, Horizon Steel Frontiers clearly takes inspiration from games like Monster Hunter, hunting massive machines with a team in a cooperative MMORPG setting. If you have played Monster Hunter Wilds, you will probably feel right at home with the combat, but also most certainly miss your dear Palico. You can target weak points on machines, use tools like the Pullcaster to climb them and set traps to immobilize them. The game also lets you pick dropped weapons from machines and use these against them. Classic Uno reverse card from its predecessors. Customization is a big part of the experience too, as you can not only tweak your character's appearance, but also their abilities to tailor them to your combat style. There will also be plenty of opportunities for co-op gameplay, as teamwork will be key to taking down the biggest foes. And speaking of teamwork, as an MMORPG, multiplayer is the main focus of the game and not just slapped on top. Large-scale raids and boss hunts will be the core gameplay, where groups of players have to team up to take on colossal mechanical beasts. There is even a strategic element to these raids, with different players performing specific roles like damaging weak points, climbing onto machines and setting traps. But probably when it's just a little bit like Monster Hunter Wilds, everyone will end up doing random stuff and absolutely chaotic fights anyway. With different tribes, PvP is also part of the game, where rivaling tribes will clash over resources, creating an ever-present threat in the open world. As if the machines were not bad enough. Tribes will allow for different guild structures within them that add guild bounties and events for larger groups. Guilds will be called hunter clans, and word is that there will be player and guild housing, including forts. And as for these huge hunts, we obviously don't have the full roster of enemies yet, but we can already see lots of new additions in the trailer alone. From sandworm-like machines to huge T-Rex lookalikes. There is plenty of new stuff, but also tons of already known machine variants. And while the game is fully online, there is no couch co-op or single-player mode. Instead, you got cross-platform progression, but we are cautiously curious how this will be balanced between PC and mobile. On one side, you can't make a game too difficult if you launch it on mobile. But on the other side, PC players probably wouldn't be satisfied with a mobile port alone. Judging from the graphics, it looks like a PC first game, but we might be very wrong on this one. As with all that said, there is still some big questions in the room, and although the game is still at least a year away from its release, these are fundamental. As you might know, Sony owns the Horizon IP, so it's quite surprising that PlayStation has been left out from the roster. Unless there is more to it, of course. Horizon Steel Frontiers will not be playable on Steam or the Epic Game Store, but NCSoft's own Purple launcher instead. This, along with the free-to-play model, might suggest that this is indeed a mobile-first game, and the decision to leave out PlayStation as a platform is a business decision. And although the developer promises thousands of players, which seems rather unrealistic for a mobile game, there are even more indicators. The most prominent ones being a lawsuit and Guerrilla's other game in the making. As for the lawsuit, if you are following our channel and especially the news, we reported a while back that Sony is suing Tencent, as their new IP, Light of Mortiram, was just a little bit too close to Horizon, but with multiplayer. So why eliminating competition when you aren't a competitor? But while eliminating competitors might be one thing, and is in fact rather common, especially around Nintendo IPs, Guerrilla's job listings are ultimately connecting all the dots. As of 2022, they were recruiting engineers for a huge MMO, which, at the start of 2025, was revealed to take place in the Horizon universe. And with requirements like infrastructure for millions of players, the game in question most certainly isn't Horizon Steel Frontiers. However, details on that second game are still mostly unknown, so it might be even further away from release than Steel Frontiers. I mean, who knows, we aren't fans of mobile-first PC ports with questionable monetization model either. But as the saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover. We will definitely know more about these aspects closer to release, and maybe, just maybe, it will gap the bridge until Guerrilla's second Horizon game releases to Steam and hopefully PlayStation as well. But that's everything we know so far about Horizon Steel Frontiers. As fans of Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, we are obviously curious, although we hope that they dial back a little on the Ubisoft formula of the latter. Also, there's always the typical monetization model, but until we have more details, we stay optimistic. The release is still far away, so we have to wait a bit longer for more details, but the potential is definitely there. What about you? Are you fans of the franchise and have been waiting to play Horizon in co-op? Do we really need two so similar games? Or would you rather hunt non-mechanical beasts in Monster Hunter instead? Let us know in the comments. But that's it for this one. We hope you feel informed, and we will see you again in the next one.